Hello, welcome back to Underrated Movies. I am your guy, I am your man, Mr. Alton Henry, and today I'd like to talk to you about another film, Drive, starring Ryan Gosling, Carey Mulligan, Albert Brooks, and Bryan Cranston, about a stuntman driver for Hollywood who moonlights as a getaway driver for criminals, falls in love with his neighbor, and things go down. Now, this film came out 10 years ago, and I happened to work at the movie theaters at the time. It's my first, maybe second job. I'll count that other job one. But anyway, when the poster came out and the trailer came out, I was hooked. But it felt different for an action film. And when I watched this film, I saw it 2.5 times. Now, how can you watch a movie 2.5 times? Well, when I was working at the theater, I could watch any freaking movie I want. And I have to say, this is one of the best, in my opinion, and it's underrated as hell, one of the best movies ever made. Even though it's a cliche story. Now, Drive, Ryan Gosling plays a unnamed driver. You never know this guy's name. You don't know the guy's name. And it's never even mentioned with the hint of this guy's name. But the protagonist's name, you know as the driver. He's referred to as Kid. He's referred to as A. Or the mysterious man with the scorpion on his back. And there's a lot of symbolism in this film, directed by Nicholas Winding Refn. This driver man, who's a basically good guy version of Michael Myers, falls in love with Carey Mulligan. Well, she's cute, why not? And, you know, she lives alone with her kid, and they're just trying to get by. And turns out that once the husband comes back, turns out to be Moonlight Man Oscar Isaac. Well, I don't blame her. There's a mysterious but somehow passionate connection between the two, where they, felt like they had some connection. But there's more to it than meets the eye, where turns out the husband owes money, protection money, while he was in prison. And, well, they want the money. So he is brought back into the life of crime. So is the driver. The driver moonlights as a getaway driver for criminals. Tries to help him out, but that fails. And now they are on the run, trying to survive. And everybody else is trying to cover their behinds. And what I really loved about this film, and this is Nicholas Winding Refn's best movie, that the film is a unique crime noir style art house action film where they were able to balance the artistic meaning of what the film was about and have some thrilling action scenes. And it's like the perfect movie for me. And it won Nicholas Winding Refn the Best Director Award. And I think this film pretty much put Ryan Gosling on the map as a huge star. Now, I wasn't a fan of Ryan Gosling until this movie. In this movie, he, surprised the hell out of me. And this film is shockingly violent. And it's actually a trademark for Nicholas Winding Refn's films. And there's not a lot of dialogue. There's dialogue, but mostly from the driver, there's not a lot of dialogue. He said little lines. There's a silent protagonist. He only says what he needs to say, and that's about it. So other than that, he knows the situation. Bryan Cranston, who plays the lovable sidekick good guy for Ryan Gosling. What's his name? Shannon. Okay. And I was thinking that was the first film I actually paid attention to, who Bryan Cranston is. The movie, it was great. Everybody was great. Albert Brooks, a very interesting villain. And the action scenes in here were intense as hell. This is what I tell you, this is one of the first action scenes that when I watched the action scenes, it made me cringe, and I was holding the edge. I was gripping the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat. This is one of the first films ever when I start to educate myself more into film and cinema. I've never had a film where the action scenes were intense and a little bit scary, especially when that second action scene happened, where the heist pretty much went haywire, and there's no music behind that car chase scene. It was thrilling. Short, but thrilling. No music, nothing. You just hear the engines of the car, and then Christina Hendricks, I think the actress name is, the red hair, just panicking. Then you have another shootout scene that happens later, and in the most violent way, short but intense, shocking me. I love that the action scenes here are shocking. So the movie kind of builds up to like this half the movie, and then once it hits that second half of the movie, there's like action after action after action after action after action, and it felt very poetic. I've never felt an action film besides Zhang Yimou's Hero, or his martial art movies, but this crime film, poetic. I've never seen an action film, a modern action film, felt poetic and meaningful. Following a silent protagonist, which you care a lot about the guy, where he wants to connect with people but feels like he can't. He feels like it's a curse for him to do that, and you felt it. And I like that you feel the movie. You're not feed everything. You feel it. You see it, but you feel it. You're not given everything about the characters, but it sells you enough visually that it gets you invested. And I loved it. I love this film. I don't have no flaws with this film. And it's been over 10 years. It's going to hit its 11th year this year since this came out. And I think the film only was nominated for sound mixing, I think, at the Oscars or the Golden Globes. Crime, bro! This film should have gotten nominated for Best Director. Man, this movie should have been. Oh, man, this movie is great. This beats out any of the car chases in Fast and Furious, man. I'm sorry. I know it gets exaggerated with Fast and Furious, but the intensity of a car chase scene that I felt with this movie, I have never felt that with any other film. Well, that and Death Proof, but this film right here gets you scared of the action, and that's what I like. Because in real life, if you encounter that, I bet you're really terrified. You feel the intensity. So I like that. I like that feel of this film. I like it. It was also kind of romantic in a way, of really two people trying to connect, but there's always something in the way that is preventing them to do so. And that moment in the elevator, oh my God, this is iconic. The moment in the elevator where it felt like just time and everything kind of just slowed down, where he basically kissed Carey Mulligan, but it was like a farewell kiss, and that moment felt so pure and intimate. And then you have this brutal scene that takes place right after. It was beautiful. Beautiful, man. Beautiful cinema. Mwah! I love this film. Drive. Check it out if you have seen it. Nobody's talking about it, but bring it back, man. Bring that classic back. Let me know if you have seen it. And let me know what is your favorite underrated movie, man. Yeah.